Your key to better golf, 805. Grips, repairs, adjusting loft, and give them a call for tee times, 805 in from McGaughey Health Group.
Fast break, Mike. He used to control. Was that your question, Mike? So the control. What was your
I
question?
was wondering if I call it the command post.
Command
there
post.
You go. Is the command post of the body? Is it the spine?
I'm thinking, doing a lot of
but
thinking.
It's really interesting. Like times that I've gone where I've had maybe like a being that it correlates with those charts have to do with your eyes and so I mean
we've learned so much more about the brain in the last 10 years that they use the Merrick chart is what you're talking about, Mike. Yeah. And so we see a high correlation. I wouldn't call it causation, but high correlation to the reach of how when we make.
So, you know what's amazing to me is it takes a brain to figure out more about the brain. Dave Shamandel.
We do.
One of them. He's not great with words, but boy, is he a brain. Hi, Dave.
Good morning, boys.
Good morning.
Good morning, David. Hey, so
Mike,
you can roll.
I
am?
No. Yes. I mean, goodness gracious. Everybody knows. The head bone's connected to the neck bone.
And the neck bone's connected to the
neck bone's connected to the backbone. And that's it.
And that's all that she wrote. That's it.
Take out wrenched ankle.
Yes. So Dave, you have a
you
little.
Put your left foot in and your left foot out.
Experience with.
It's actually his picture that's on everybody's wall.
Is it?
Yeah, it's Dave's spine that you're seeing up there.
When the Sports Illustrated, and he was standing there in his underwear, and they had arrows pointing at every part of his body, saying, 3 knee surgeries, 4 back surgeries, and they gave the date on every one where he was injured. And it took up the whole page. It was an inspiration to me. I've decided to try to equal him.
Wow. Wow. So, any of this stuff hitting home with you, Dave?
Oh, yeah. No, I kid around about it, but, definitely. No doubt about it. In fact, I remember when Billy was complaining about his shoulder for so long, he was talking to another guy one time. He said, I'll bet it's his back or his neck, because it just seemed like it. And
so the big scar on my shoulder, the big scar on my shoulder has nothing to do with the shoulder.
Wow.
Got a big scar on my shoulder.
Yeah.
Big scar on my clavicle shoulder.
Yeah, I got one of those too.
So to answer your question, I don't have a clavicle, so I can't answer the question.
Well, for you, for everything you've been through, or do you have any advice for them? Do you have any things that can help them out, or what do you do for yourself to help you out? I know you've gone back and forth with playing golf and not being able to play.
I played 12 holes the other. I took a pill.
So you're a pill. You take a pill.
And it's just, I have learned a lot about swinging a golf club.
Interesting.
Mostly it's been as far as trying to alleviate stress, especially on the lower back. I've learned a lot of things about it, and actually, it's a much more efficient swing too.
So share that? What do you do to do that?
Well, we all grew up in the era of the reverse C, and boy, there's probably nothing worse than on the lower back than that. And just trying to eliminate that, and as you turn through the shot, just allow the whole body to turn at the same time to put on the back.
Yeah. So the reverse C that you're referring to, in case somebody doesn't really know, it's the finish position of
Arnold, Jack Nicklaus, Johnny Miller, and Jerry Pate.
The head's kind of
Johnny
back,
Miller,
and the shoulders are
Johnny Miller,
tilted backwards.
Jerry Pate was he was a huge C. I think he's in traction right now.
He still is.
Did you see him at your?
He's got a water glass full of fish oil on the side of his head.
He's into he swims in fish oil.
And he was so good for such a short amount of time.
He was so good for a little time, yeah. It is kind of amazing, too. If you look at Tiger's new swing, too, we must have seen it the last few days.
I've seen.
So straight up and down and so straight to finish, much more than he ever used to be.
And that's exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah,
so,
it's just allowing
right
the whole
straight.
body, all these separate parts.
I was too, Dave, as you know, reverse C. That's what I learned from, and I have pictures. Remember the picture from the British golf courses of that big C that I have? Wow, I mean that's how I learned.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why I have an old man's neck.
So now you're more of a.
I got biomechanic issues it's all because of Jerry Pate.
You're a capital I now, aren't you?
I wouldn't.
No, I'm more of like a little tiny C.
A little tiny C?
Little crest. I'm like a moon crest.
You're a crested moon.
I'm a crested moon.
Wow.
But what pro lasted longer than anybody else on the planet? Sam Snead. Look at pictures of him. that's such a stress-free movement that he had.
And since you brought that up too, David, I'm going to ask the doc. I've read many times that a good golf swing is actually healthy for the back and the spine.
No comment.
I was going to say, I've never heard that before.
I've heard those movements are good, and it keeps you oiled and moved and free if it's a good swing. I mean, it keeps things moving, and I've read articles looking because of my issues, and some people say that the golf swing it could be very healthy for people who have stiffness.
Well, here's another question. Would it be better to be active and play golf? Nothing. Living life and not being active.
Yes. Say, go swimming.
So the golf movement is actually
it's better than nothing.
It's better than nothing.
Or you could walk around the golf course and just not swing. That would work too.
Would that be better than golfing?
Right, walking the golf
course. So golf is not good for the back.
Well, that's what I was trying to get at.
That's what he's not saying.
Yeah.
Well, I had one doctor. He had an X-ray up, and he had a bunch of interns in, and he was walking them around. And he put my X-ray up, and they all went, ooh.
And he
said,
that's
yes.
what I got. I got oohs and ahs.
It was hilarious because he looked at them. He says, yes, you know what? The sport of golf keeps me in business.
Have you ever been told
you got to come see this, Doc? Come here, look at this, Fred. Whoa, who's that?
David, have you ever been told you have old man's neck?
I've been told I got old man other things.
Well, apparently Billy has old man's neck.
I have old man's neck, officially. I was told.
You got an old man's neck?
I was told official technician told me I had old man's neck.
Is that kind of like a turkey water?
I was wondering. She had fat toes. That's all I know. We're going at it.
But, did you tell her that? Did you say, oh, yeah? Well, you got fat toes.
Of course I did. We both
You're
laughed.
a funny guy.
We both laughed, but still.
It's an icebreaker.
Who tells you have an old man's neck? I mean, come on. She didn't mean it bad. She said, it's just the way we call it. I said, well, keep it to yourself.
Keep it to
yourself. It's just worn out.
It's just worn out.
Yes, guess it is.
It's just worn out. So, Dr. Ryan, what about one of the things I know
it's biomechanical. My issues aren't they?
Yeah.
Aren't they?
Well, one of the things that Ryan and I talk about on many occasions are different stretches and things like that as well.
Right.
So, I mean, I've incorporated that into my daily routine.
Well, and I think that goes to the question you were asking about the golf swing, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if you're trying to do that all the time, but if you're taking...
I got the warm and fuzzies all of a sudden. Didn't you guys?
Boy, was that a friendly answer?
Yeah, really. But I think.
Well, Doc, wouldn't you agree that there are ways that you can swing a golf club that are much better, or maybe not much better, but let's say less detrimental to your health?
Absolutely.
But if he gives those secrets, he loses half his clients. Man.
That's why I want to hear them. I'm a cheapskate.
Because there's not. It's just funny because the chiropractor, the other guy, he said that golf kept him in business too. I mean, he said, you're a golfer. Yeah, I have a lot of my clients are golfers. I mean, that's what he said.
But you could
before he hung me upside down.
Yeah. But you could say there are other things that people do. It's not just golf. It's people being active.
Exactly. And
you know what I mean? It's not. You can't just.
You would think
rugby runners.
I was just gonna say. Yeah. I had to. I used to run all the time, and I had to stop.
Well,
no, literally, I had to because you know what I was doing? I was running 10 miles on pavement.
When was that?
That's when Amy was training for marathons.
I don't know who you are anymore.
Yeah, this
man.
was in the 2000s,
I've
early
known you
2000s.
For 24 years. I just don't know
used
who
to
you
love. I loved running. I loved running. I don't do it anymore, and I mean, I don't. I do other things that are cardio, but I don't do running. But that brought me down.
Running's got to be more of a compression.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But again, you take care of yourself. You're going to be able to do those things longer.
Yeah,
for sure.
So the big key is staying healthy. I mean, that's what you do. I mean, you offer health to these people that could be in a processed healthy.
Our vision and symptom. It's more talking about dietary stuff, but that makes we're going to help them be healthier, and that's what our vision is.
Right. And I think that's you talked about that earlier. I mean, a lot of people have had experiences with chiropractors or whatever, and I've heard it as well. But where if you're on a routine and you're being aware of your health, because if you're healthy, you're going to live a better life. You're going to be able to do more active things, and you're going to be in such a place that you can go and see someone like you, and you don't need an adjustment. You can talk about, hey, I noticed I've been swinging, and I got, my IT bands have been really tight, as you know me. and you laugh. I know you laugh when you have to work on me on those, on IT bands. But there's things we talk about, with like either stretching or what have you been doing, or, are you under a lot of stress?
Right.
There's a lot tied into this than more than just playing golf. I mean, it's a lot of things,
Right.
and I think a lot of it is just being aware. And when you're aware, you can make choices instead of sitting there waiting for an answer and not doing anything about it. And that's where I got with a lot of things I was going through. I got impatient. I'm like, I'm not going to live my life like this anymore. This is, you've only got one life to live, and I'm not going to sit there and feel sorry for myself because I got X, X, and X. I want to get this solved so I can live my life and do what I used to do and be how I was, because that's what I want to be.
Awesome.
How's it going, Dave?
This is great. No, I was just sitting here listening to Mike, and I was just remembering when you were going through that. What was that? Probably 8-10 years ago, and you were almost excited. It was kind of neat to watch you go through that and do the work to make yourself healthier. That was you done good, boy.
Yeah, well, and thank you. And actually, someone that really helped me with that was Jim DeLobby, who's a good friend of ours, who's also a PGA professional. I mean, he's gone through some stuff, and so he and I had this like parallel path going on for whatever reason, whether it was because of golf or life or whatever it was, And a gentleman who's golfing in our men's club championship, our Ironman, of course, he has some bigger issues, but they can't help him. And it's like ridiculous that it's taking 3 months to solve something that could possibly be solved by someone like you, Dr. Ryan.
Oh.
It's so stupid to me.
Have you recommended Dr. Ryan?
I have, but this guy's over in Bakersfield.
Oh.
So, I mean, not that he couldn't come over here, but he's since gone and seen some other people, and it's helped him. Mm-hmm. It's like, when you think about what we pay for health benefits and all the stuff with system, the systems, we all. I think it's really important, because when we talk about golf is recreating, and if you're hurting, and you can't have that balance in your life. I mean, I grew up and I went to Cal Poly I love active, I love business, so it's like we talked about when I went to Cal Poly. We talked about the wellness wheel. Your life has to be balanced, and if it's not balanced, which happens to all of us at times, the wheel starts getting oblong and it starts wearing down. Whether it's your family, whether it's what you eat, and all the phones, and we're sitting there just looking at phones. We're not interacting. We're not doing. It's maddening. The whole thing is maddening to me. But I think this all fits together.
I sense that, and you should be careful of the stress, because that's going to pull on something in your mid-spine.
I know. But I got Dr. Ryan. I got Dr. Ryan to help.
He's going to have to treat you here in a minute, man. So, Dave, speaking of brains, I was looking at Dr. Ryan's website, and there's brain-based therapies. And boy, I could probably use a brain-based therapy. What is that?
It's different therapies we do to retrain the brain so it functions better.
Right? I mean, it could take years.
Dave, that's true. That's really true.
The power band, which can actually be hooked up to put around your head, and it will actually raise the shots, and then and your brain's doing that, you hit a bad shot.
Well, that sounds like it's diagnosing something, but does it give you treatment? I mean, it's, wow, you did this when you hit a good shot, but how do you repeat that? I mean, so if you did this in a bad shot.
Example, Jason Day. It's really slowed down the speed he's playing on the way he's trying to, I guess, of.
Excited about. I love research and after the adjustment and do this.
Very cool.
Just because can that adjustment make that brain stuff slow down? Right. I mean, for years they've been trying to figure out how to get people to relax and breathe during shots and focus and get out of their own way and stuff like that. That's not new. That's been going on forever.
Oh, yeah. God, I've said it for hunting a racer.
Exactly, man. Does
that tie in too when you always hear people say, man, I hadn't played golf for like 5 months, and they come back in after they play around like, wow, that was a fun day. I played great.
Yeah.
And so is that because of their memories from
analysis? They're just going out and playing again. And
so is there a correlation to that?
It's got to be.
How do they do the second round?
Yeah, exactly.
Not usually very well.
Because the two bad shots they hit, they're thinking about the whole time. But I like Dr. Ryan's idea, because after some adjustments, go on these machines that diagnose or at least show you what you're doing, and then go have the adjustments and then compare without different thoughts. I mean, just going out and see if because I bet you there truly is a correlation.
Yes.
Talk to me.
Cerebellum. Your cerebellum controls and coordinates your spine and eye movement, and it contains more than 80% of the neurons in your brain. And the best way to stimulate that is use a concentrator.
Penny Flame. Sorry, Bill.
Dang it! Because I was just gonna start smoking too. I figured, what the heck?
You guys sell stogies here?
But it's so you put like oxygen because you see those oxygen bars and stuff.
So we're doing it for a neurological effect. We want to upregulate the function of the cerebellum, and the best way to do that is using your arms. Put you on some oxygen because the brain needs two things to function well: oxygen and glucose. So we fuel and activation. The activation is doing the arm motion. The fuel is the oxygen. And then we add other things in. We could do eye exercises while you're doing it. We could use a laser while you're doing it. We could have you do some...
Wow, man. It truly
hand
is
motions.
a naturopath. I mean, you guys really combining a whole healthy system.
Yeah.
What was your motto? If you don't, what was it? Healthy.
We were the vision we were talking about is healthier people, healthier community, healthier world, and that's what we're going for. There is the combination of what we are doing, at least in the county. No one else is doing the naturopathic with the chiropractic, and then the way we do within that is even different than what typical people do. We work with a lot of chronic conditions, from migraines to Hashimoto's, thyroiditis, insomnia. If you were looking for a natural solution to any of your healthcare needs, that we're the place. We even people with strokes coming in. I mean, just really neat things that we're working with.
Well, Mike and I and Dave PGA Pros want to know: can you cure the shanks? Because we've been trying to fix those things since we started. So I'll tell you, you haven't lined around the block if you could fix the shanks.
There is no fixing of shanks. I've tried, and it hasn't worked with my game.
Not
either.
even with nasal-specific treatment here?
No.
Then I'm leaving.
I'm right then.
Well, maybe if we put all our heads together, you never know.
So, Mike, I know that you've had nasal issues, and I mean this, and I've just known you for a while, and you had your little petty pot or whatever you said. Remember what?
Neti pot.
Yeah, that little thing.
Yeah.
Is that kind of this? I'm just going through his list of services and.
No, the nasal specific is. Mike, did we insert the
torture? Insert a balloon. Stop right there.
I use my.
Put it on a specific into the nasal passage.
I'm sorry.
No,
Just bringing up visualization.
Medieval times, baby. I'm hanging upside down.
You're not hanging upside down.
Okay.
It's like we're gonna send you in a
office.
No.
So why was I hung upside down?
I have no
That's
idea.
a great question.
Yeah.
Maybe he thought you were a great piece of meat.
He was aging. Oh, wait a minute.
And it was
there's the
cold in
answer,
that room too, man. So you might be
I think it was a large
aging
tuna,
you.
is what he said. Right?
He was
Hello,
aging
Cuddies.
you, Bill, and
I think they're trying to make me a younger neck back. It's a table. The movie up backwards.
Yeah.
There's people around
And
with
Rocky
giant
came by and
flash
beat on you.
bulbs. He's like, sit still a second. He stood up.
I could be on YouTube.
fishing rod in hand, and you're ready.
Harley.
Never experienced that.
What year was that?
80s. In the 80s.
Oh, that explains everything.
They call
that
that
was
the
a good-
Mercedes 80s. That was, he probably just did that to
So
get
you
a
think
little
I'm
extra
making-
payment.
Oh, but the drop table was more recent.
Yeah.
All right, that's why I've been to two chiropractors.
Well, we got to take our break. David, thank you for calling.
Yeah, we poor Dave didn't get any plugs in. Oh, by the way, Dave, I'll talk to you later. I'm going to come over. I'm actually going to bring a set of irons with those. Do you still have those Augusta green grips? This is a fact. I might even bring them to you today.
Well, they're kind of an olive mold green now, but yeah.
Oh, jeez. They've been around a while.
Mold. I'm going to need nasal work.
No, I still have them, and
All
I
right.
put them in a plastic bag.
Put them on those clubs, and
Nice.
and I'm going to start playing with those. So.
Nice.
All right, cool.
David, to get a hold of you, do you sell like gift cards and things like that for Christmas?
Well, you bet.
So how do they get a hold of you for that? Because it is Christmas time.
It is. Oh, I do have one. A full set hybrid putter bag.
Wow.
Normally goes for $500, and I cannot tell you how cheap it is, but one half is a good clue.
Wow.
Give me a call, 805-598-9993.
Awesome. David.
I'm sorry.
Thank you.
All right, David. Radio with Mike and Billy. More in the studio here. We come back. We've got match play. We might have Nikki Anderson calling from Hawaii. We also have Dr. Ryan McGaughey in the house from McGaughey Health Group. And stay with us right here on ESPN Radio.